What is happening, folks? Welcome to Hunting with Tripler. Would you spend $500 for the potential to make $500 in profit or more? Most of us would answer that question yes without hesitation, but how much work is too much work to make $500 in profit? Let's talk about it.
I collect so many things. Would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join the chase. Yeah!
Some of you may have noticed something off into the corner here. Let me show you what this is. This, of course, was a pickup from, I don't remember exactly where it was, but it's awesome. So in today's episode, folks, I'm gonna show you two really large, or at least fairly decent sized purchases that I made from a local seller here in Long Beach. I used to purchase from him all the time. He doesn't just tell you what the price is. He wants you to make an offer that will motivate him to sell it. Oftentimes, if you're right on the money, a little less, maybe a lot more, he's probably in that yes range. Whereas if you're trying to just lowball him, he's gonna simply just block you. I've had a really good relationship with him. I've been really upfront with him with what I'm trying to do out of the lot. He knows I'm a reseller. Unless it's something that I'm specifically saying, hey, this is for my collection, he knows that I'm trying to at least double my money on the purchase price. You're gonna see me meet up with him. I basically go through the lot of games. You're gonna see a pretty fair amount of work that went into this though. There's a lot of small games, a lot of little tiny handhelds, and those things take time. And though there's a lot of quantities here, you also have to kind of get comfortable with how are you gonna sell this stuff? Is it one at a time? Are you gonna lot them together? So I kind of walk you through that strategy as well. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this kind of content, and hit the notification bell so you know when I have content coming out, because it's gonna be a lot more often. That being said, enjoy two video game purchases today, folks.
Owen, you look like you've been possessed by someone. All right. Anyway, we have another pickup lined up. And the great thing about this pickup is that I met with this guy probably, I don't know, 25 times pre-COVID over, like a year span. And I would meet with him, buy a bunch of stuff, and his pricing was pretty good. I always had to clean up the stuff though. He just never cleaned anything. So that was kind of part of one of the reasons I was able to get good pricing. So he is gonna meet with me and he brings it right to my car door, which is awesome. And that way I don't have to get out of the car because I don't want to take Owen out. So he'll bring it right to my window, give him the cash, he'll give me the goods. He has never once sold me something where what's in the picture is not there. Stay tuned for that guy. Yes, hey? Okay. Drive by. Thank you. How you been?
No problem. Been good.
What's new? Have you been posting or no?
I'm usually posting on Instagram.
Okay. How's that going?
It's going well.
Yeah. I'm trying to do big buyouts right now. Like right now I'm trying to do a lot of buying. All right, so we were able to pick up everything. It is a bag full of good stuff. Owen has definitely approved this purchase. One of the things about buying something like this is it's a lot of small stuff. So a lot of putting lots together. And that really doesn't bother me that much. I mean, putting lots together and trying to sell multiple games at one time, that's perfectly fine. That's the way I would do it. Trying to sell like $3 to $7 games, I think trying to put a whole bunch of DS games together will work out really well. So my expectation, I paid $500 for this lot. Of course, I'm gonna show you all of what's in that 500 bucks. But my thinking is I'm gonna be around 800, 900 after it's all said and done. That's my hope. So let's review it. I'm gonna walk you through everything we got in that deal. I spent $500 on this lot, and the guy in general, the deals that we usually work out, in the end, it's usually about a double up for me. So I'll walk you through the highlights here, but on the surface, when you look at it and you say, oh, you spent 500 bucks on that, you might kind of be surprised until you really go through it. Now granted, there is a fair amount of work involved here, so you just have to keep in mind there's a lot of little items that I have to list. I'll probably focus on those that are $10 and higher, and then the rest of them that are below that, I'll probably lot them together and then sell them as one big lot. The first one here, we have 2 copies of Animal Crossing Wild World for the DS. Mario and Sonic Olympic Winter Games. We have Donkey Kong 3D Returns. I actually got another copy of that as well, just loose. Ugly Dolls in actually new condition. So probably what I'll do is I'll sell this one on Amazon. I will obviously look to see of any of these that I can sell on Amazon to see if the price is higher than that. But granted, most of the time I'm gonna be restricted on Amazon and I'm selling it on eBay. That's just kind of how I've been able to operate over the last couple of years. Pikmin for GameCube. So what I did is I actually replaced the case itself. The cover art isn't great. It looked like it'd been damaged and there's no manual, but the disc was in pretty okay shape. So I should be able to get pretty good money for that. Vengeance, Batman Vengeance. That is like a $10 to $20 game. And then Bomberman Generations, that's a pretty decent one. Mario Kart 6 loose disc.
What did you say?
I think I now have 3 copies of this. Mario Power Tennis, that's a fantastic game. 2 copies of Tetris. So I have some in-box Game Boys that both are missing the Tetris game, so that actually works out for me. Speedy Gonzales is a $10 game. Yoshi's Cookie, that's like 10 to 15 bucks. Wave Race and Frogger 2. And then the 2DS XL Burgundy, the unit itself is in okay condition. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's worthless, but these, in terms of value compared to the 3DS, they're not even close. This does have 4 Swords, Zelda 4 Swords downloaded on it, so this actually makes it worth a little bit more. I'm thinking 100 bucks for this one right here. Game Boy Advance games, we have Garfield, a couple copies of Pitfall, F-Zero, Van Helsing, we have Quidditch, Harry Potter Quidditch, we have some random games, we have like Rugrats, Namco Museum, Risk versus Clue, and then a Yu-Gi-Oh game, which I looked up and it didn't seem like it was worth much. It's that one there. For the Game Boy Advance SPs, now it looked like one of them had been reshelled. So probably what I'll do is I'll reshell this one, and I'm probably gonna go with like the Pokemon edition, because the Pokemon edition skins right now are actually getting spiked. If you buy these skins, the Game Boy Advance SPs, they're not terrible to replace. They're a little bit annoying in terms of the hinges. The action replays, believe it or not, I'm gonna guess right here, this little stack right here is about 300 bucks worth of value. And then for 3DS games, some of them here aren't great. There's some really just basic titles, but then Cooking Mama 4 is a good one. Here's the Donkey Kong Returns 3D loose, Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, Triple Deluxe Kirby. We have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. I think that's like 25 or 30 bucks, something like that. Pokemon Rumble Blast. I'd never even heard of that one. I don't even know what that is. And though Monster Hunter is for the 3DS, I don't think it goes for big money. And Rayman 3D, not bad either. A bunch of DS games, probably hit the highlights. Deep Labyrinth is a really good one. Spectre, what is this? Oh, Spectre Force Genesis, that's fairly decent. This is a real version of Pokemon White. This is authentic. The case, the clear kind of see-through case, this is authentic, and I was really questioning, and I'm like, there's no way this is gonna be authentic, and it is. So that's like 75 bucks right there. Kirby Massive Attack, a couple copies of Mario Party DS, a couple copies of WarioWare Touched, a couple copies of Advanced Wars Days of Ruin, and then just kind of some other random games in there as well. The guy was saying I want 500 bucks for everything. Kind of my instinct was, that's really high. And it's really hard from pictures to be able to figure out what all of this is worth. But I'm gonna put down below here, this is exactly what I expect after shipping and after fees to make on everything you see here. So I'm gonna populate that down here at the bottom. And then of course, once you back out all of my costs and everything like that, I'm gonna be making, like I said, just a pretty decent margin on this one. So we saw the recap of all of the stuff that we got from our guy, and it was a pretty solid pickup. I'm definitely gonna be in that double up range. So spent 500, should be close to 1,000. It's a fair amount of work just because there's so many small items that I have to list, and maybe I'll bank a bunch of them together, but it's a lot of inventory that I gotta get through. Granted, it's small, but it's it's still a lot of inventory. That being said, now I'm gonna head over to his storage facility, and he's gonna give me a private look at all of his video game stuff. And he alluded to it before when I did the pickup, but I couldn't really get the angle with my camera, and I don't want to be a weirdo and be like, hey, let's talk about this in front of my iPhone. So I'm gonna go over there and check out what he's got, and hopefully we can come to some kind of decent arrangement here, because he does know I'm a reseller, and he does pretty much do as good as he can on pricing. I try to, of course, get to that, you know, if the price is, you know, at $100, I try to get it at 45 so I can incorporate shipping and fees into my number. So I really, really, truly hope that we can get, well, one, I hope that I'm surprised, and two, that I hope that I can get a good deal out of this. So let's go. I've got the GoPro. I'm gonna tell him I'm filming, so see what happens. That's what you want right there in your storage facility. And of course, the oldest elevator on the planet. Sweet. Time Crisis, nice. Is that the with the gun con?
Yep.
Okay.
The consoles, I have not tested them out, so that's the thing, you know.
Yeah.
The consoles, I have not tested none of them.
Okay. You got a lot of vintage and new stuff, I'm guessing?
I got Wii's, I got a couple of Nintendos, the old stuff, like the newer stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, so probably I always need consoles, always. So like Saturn for sure, you know, handhelds, you know, you probably know as well as I, they're always pretty good. They sell.
You know how many of those the handhelds that you took yesterday, the DS?
Yeah.
You know how many I got of those?
What, 20? 10?
More.
Do you? The XL?
I have the XLs and I have the DS Lights and the regular DS.
How many 3DSs you have?
3DS is all gone.
All gone, yeah. Those are pretty hot right now. I'll definitely take, you know, always good on Nintendos. I need those. Definitely on the GameCube, for sure. Always need GameCubes. The Wii's, I have about 40 of them right now. Xbox One for sure I need. PlayStation 3 I need. The original Xbox, I like those too. Yeah, I'm always interested in those. The Saturn as well, I'm interested in that. I would take any, basically just all the controllers that would go with all those if you have them available. All this, I mean, N64 stuff, I always need N64 stuff. So, you got some SNES.
That's just fillers.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that. You got a couple SNES actual consoles here. Game Boys, I always like those. Those always do pretty well for me. Alright guys, we got some cool stuff here. Xbox One, we got some NES. Yeah, the GameCube stuff looks pretty cool. Oh, we got a sealed GameCube game? I didn't know that. Alright, well, let's pay the man. One last bag coming over. I'm back in the warehouse now. I've got all of this stuff laid out, and tremendous deal. The games themselves are really what made this deal so nice. The consoles will probably get me all of my money back, but the games were just really good quality titles. There isn't like the home run hitter, but there's a lot of like $50, $60 titles in there. So let's review this, and we'll put the running total at the bottom again, like usual, so you can see exactly why I spent $475 on all this stuff. All right, so the GameCube is in working condition. It's basically an aftermarket controller, which really isn't worth anything. At least we have the correct power adapter, but that is an aftermarket AV cable. These are definitely, I wouldn't say they're spiked. They're at where they usually would be, around $100 to $130. And I'll go back to the games in a minute. I want to hit the systems first. The PS2 is complete with a controller. The Xbox One is working, but without a power supply. I think I have an extra power supply sitting around, but needless to say, that is definitely a gem right now, because I'm probably getting around $225 just for the Xbox One. So the GameCube, the PS2, the Xbox One, that's super close. And then we get into the two original Nintendo systems, NESs, and we're there. We're at 100. We're at 475. The games that are included there, nothing great. I guess maybe Double Dragon would be the best of the lot. I think that's around $10, but the rest of them are fairly common, but good bundlers. So no issues with the two systems there. So let's take a look at the games here. We'll start with PS2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, but Fatal Frame 2, that's a $50, $60 game. Capcom vs. SNK 2, that's a $50, $60 game. Alone in the Dark, Silent Line, Armored Core, True Crime New York City. That's a really good game to have. I think that's 50 or 60 as well. Ultimate Spider-Man, Grand Theft Auto. So really nice stack of PS2 games here. And then the GameCube games are also just good quality games. The Hello Kitty is 20 to 25. Dark Tomorrow, 20 to 25. Super Monkey Ball is over 40. Road Rage, I think, is over 40. Hero's Tale, I think the two New Beginnings that are in here, both of those I think are in the 40 range. Hero's Tale, maybe more than that. I don't remember. Looney Tunes Back in Action, that may be a $20 game, but FIFA 07 Soccer is actually new sealed. Let me pull that out for a second. And I never saw a comp of this game new sealed, so I have no idea what to price this. I wouldn't say this is a particularly rare item, but needless to say, a sealed GameCube game is, you know, I think it's going to be worth something. So that is it in its entirety. You can see that pretty easily I'm well over $400 to $500 in profit. So yeah, this is why I paid up a lot of money to get all this stuff.
And that was today's episode, folks. What you didn't see is my weekly recap, which I'll be doing on Thursdays. So make sure you stay tuned so you get to see all the sales I had from last week all the way up until this Thursday. And so far, they've been just average. If you've made it this far, folks, I want to just tease something. The next episode is going to be about the $10 game collection, but more importantly, it was what was surprisingly inside that $10 game collection, which will probably lead us into at least 2 or 3 different episodes. It's pretty mind-blowing, and before I knew what I was looking at, I can tell you right now I've become an expert on this exact thing, or at least I'm trying to become an expert. I won't say any more other than to say, you will enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And of course, I will see you next time, which is Thursday. Take care.